The Cameroon's upper house of parliament is now complete after President Paul Biya appointed 30 more senators. That was this afternoon. In this edition of the news, we tell you about the incoming senators those that are incoming in the upper house of parliament. That follows a presidential decree that was made public this afternoon. Also ahead, top military officials in the northwest region of Cameroon say that the situation in the two Anglophone regions of the country is stabilizing. But we tell you in this edition of the news that bishops in the nation's capital that are meeting within the context of the meeting of members of the National Episcopal Conference are indicating that the situation is getting more and more complicated in the two English-speaking regions of Cameroon. Those are headlines. We shall be right back. Stay with us. Good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you so much for joining us in this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Equinox Television. The President of the Republic of Cameroon has appointed 30 more senators to make the upper house of parliament complete. But before we talk about that, let us take a look at the meeting of top military officials that took place in the chief town of the northwest region of Cameroon. That was yesterday, and contrary to facts streaming in from that part of Cameroon, that is the northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon, top military officials have indicated that the situation is returning to normalcy in the two Anglophone regions of Cameroon. Some of them spoke to Equinox Television during the Army General's visit to that part of Cameroon. Details with Babla Jonathan.
Is there peace in the northwest region of Cameroon? A question that attracts diverse and contradictory answers from various quarters. Some will say no. But government and even top military officials like General Zemeka will say yes, the situation is gradually returning to normalcy in the crisis-stricken region.
The General Chief of Staff of the Army, the Joint Chief of Staff of the Army came here this morning to appraise the situation, to analyze the security situations of the Northwest region. We can say that the situation in the Northwest is getting well.
The top military official also went to give instructions to his elements on the ground across the Northwest region.
He told us that we should understand that the population is at the center of our activities here, that we do everything to make sure that the population security should be safeguarded, that those who want to instill an atmosphere of fear and terror should be chased and brought to book, and that we should rely on the judicial system of our country, because we are professional soldiers and we are in a state of law.
He asked them to establish and strengthen close, cordial and strong collaboration ties with the population.
He told us that the more we reassure the population, the more we will have people coming to us for information, and the more they will collaborate with us. And that it's important that their problems and their civilian issues should be handled by us in providing amenities that we will do, like opening our health services to them and be available if need be when they call for help. And that we should be able, and that while we carry our duties, we have a humane face that we should be polite.
In the meantime, facts and figures streaming in from the two Anglophone regions indicate that the socio-political crisis has been deepening since it escalated more than a year ago.
And meantime, bishops in the country have continued to mount pressure on the President of the Republic to seek lasting solutions to the current socio-political unrest in the two Anglophone regions of Cameroon. The bishops say that only a meaningful dialogue can help solve the current crisis. Our reporter Manjikan Gebro tells us more in this report.
It was with a pontifical mass that bishops of Cameroon began meeting for their 43rd Plenary General Assembly. It was an opportunity for the bishops who were all present to pray for peace and unity for the country as things continue to deteriorate in the northwest and southwest regions, with the Anglophone crisis taking another face value.
When this problem started in 2016, I am sure if anybody was asked that by this time in 2018 we'll still be living through the problem, we would not believe that the problem will still be continuous. But the reality is that the problem is still continuing. You know, the military men are still being killed. In retaliation, the military killed the civilians and destroyed property. And also those who are fighting for the Anglophone problem, they are also doing a lot of destruction and killing.
At our level, we welcome all the people coming from that regions to find in our church places, schools, and many accommodations.
The bishops are requesting for the head of state to listen to his children.
It has reached a stage that the head of state, you know, our father and our president, if you have children in the house who are secessionists or terrorists and who have gone astray, I think it's important to bring them together for an inclusive dialogue with everybody involved so that they can actually bring out what their grievances are. You should be able to find out from them, you know, what makes them to behave the way they are behaving, and if possible, if the solutions taken so far is not resolving the problem, it means there is something fundamental that still needs to be done.
For some weeks running, the government, via the Minister of Territorial Administration, have been on the ground to sort for ways to put to an end the crisis. The bishops believe that the method used by the government this far haven't yielded to anything good, and they are calling for an inclusive dialogue.
Having that dialogue and getting everybody involved is going to be of help in order to bring back peace in the north and the southwest region. The bishops of the Bamenda Ecclesiastical Province and the bishops of Cameroon, it has been our wish that this problem should be resolved as soon as possible.
Apart from the unstable socio-political atmosphere in the Anglophone region, the Bishop of the Yaoundé Archdiocese gave an insight on the case of Reverend Father Dieudonné Nkodo's alleged involvement in the escape of Atanganakuna.
Now he has been called by the judiciary authority to give his version of facts. He's free, but now following what we can say a process, and we are looking for the end of this process to know exactly what is the truth about this problem. Stop fake news about the father.
The sickening political situation in the two Anglophone region remains one of the top priority as clergymen continue to pray for lasting peace to return.
Several persons, hundreds of them, have been spending their night in the open air after their houses were demolished. That is in Quartier Bafia here in the economic capital Douala. The exercise was carried out by local administrative officials after their houses are set to be constructed on land belonging to the Douala International Airport. Let's have the details in the following report.
Some of the over 300 affected inhabitants could still be seen in Wadi Sienge and Bafia neighborhoods in Douala, searching and transporting their properties to unknown destinations. A ramification of an operation for all to liberate these areas that are neighbors to the Douala International Airport. Residents of these two inhabited areas, now leveled like football pitches, never saw these mass demolitions approaching. From states of astonishment to commotion, these hundreds of affected persons end up homeless.
A nursing mother and her newborn baby now have open air as their new home. Some, aware of the warnings earlier given by governments, think authorities should have at least waited for the school year to be over before the demolition exercise, such that their children continue schooling. Others argue 6 meters was never respected by the city council. Construction engineers regret the damages caused without victims indemnified. From Makepe Misoke to Bois de Sienge and Bafia, eyebrows are raised as many question which neighborhood is next.
We now talk about the situation of traders at the Loom market in the Mongo Division, littoral region of Cameroon, where business persons in Loom have called on council authorities to speed up the construction project that is ongoing at the market. It began since August 2017. It was supposed to last for 3 months, but up to now, nothing has changed, and traders are saying that it is a difficult situation for them in the market, as Rabiatu Aliyu tells us in this report.
Traders in the Loom market in Mongo Division decry their current situation. Their shops were derogated since August 2017 by the council that promised to construct new ones.
Tous ceux qui étaient dans les boutiques là, ils sont au quartier. D'aucuns fonctionnaient avec les banques, certains microfinances.
According to the traders, some of them took loans from microfinance institutions and banks. They face a lot of issues now because they must pay regularly.
Nous ne savons pas, la situation est vraiment alarmante. Beaucoup même ont mis même dans le marché ambulant, mais ça n'a pas tenu.
While awaiting the completion of the project, some of them have started working in plantations. They rely on the mayor's support.
Nous profitons de l'occasion pour présenter, je ne dirais pas des excuses, mais pour dire à la CER.
The mayor of Loom, Kwategi Wambu, on his part, reveals that public expenditure depends on some principles.
Ce que nous passons le temps à décrier, c'est-à-dire des prestataires.
He blames the contractors in charge of constructing the shops.
Nous avons donc constaté que malgré cela, il est dans l'incapacité de le faire.
Meanwhile, the grumbling business persons wish to see the construction of a new market structure accelerate so that they resume their commercial activities, which have been grounded for a long while.
And on to something else, we now talk about the presidential decree that was made public this afternoon. The head of state that has so far appointed 30 more senators to make the upper house of parliament complete. So far, we have new faces in the northwest region of Cameroon, that is Fon Chafa, the Fon of Bangulan, that has so far been appointed senator of the Republic of Cameroon, and Madame Regina Mundi Elizabeth, that was heading the CPDM senatorial list during the 25th of March 2018 senatorial election that took place across the national territory. And it should be noted that the election was won in the northwest region of the country by the Social Democratic Front, but Regina Mundi Elizabeth, that was heading the list of the CPDM, has been appointed senator in the northwest region of Cameroon by the President of the Republic of Cameroon, Fon Ganyonga. The third, the Fon of Balinyonga in Medizam division of the northwest region of Cameroon, has been appointed senator once again for the second time by the President of the Republic in the southwest region of Cameroon. Fon V.I. Mukete remains member of the upper house of Cameroon's parliament. There is Fon Chief Anja Simon, that has so far been appointed by the President of the Republic. Leke Akem for Philip has equally been appointed. We have Humphrey Ekema Monono, that was the former registrar of Cameroon's GC board, that is so far appointed as alternate senator in the southwest region of Cameroon. The west region of the country, we have Ibrahim Bombonjoya, that has been appointed for the second time by the President of the Republic. There is equally Njomo Kamga and Marcel Nyat appointed once again by the President of the Republic. And of course, we shall be telling you more on that in our subsequent newscast. Now we talk about the UNIFAC Championship, Federation of African Football competition that has ended in the nation's capital, Yaoundé. That was barely a few minutes ago, in favor of our local team, that is the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, that emerged victorious by winning the Democratic Republic of Congo 1-0. They are taking home a gold medal as far as the competition is concerned. The Democratic Republic of Congo is leaving the competition with silver, and Congo Brazzaville with bronze medal. The final of the competition of UNIFAC took place, that was this afternoon, in the nation's capital, Yaoundé. Let us now come back to the images of the goal, that the lone goal that was scored by the local team, that is the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. That is the lone goal that was scored by the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon at the UNIFAC games that ended in the nation's capital, Yaoundé, this afternoon. Barely a few minutes ago that the competition actually ended. The match was pitting the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon and the Democratic Republic of Congo. And on to something else, we continue in sports. The former Lions player Essa Pius has bought over the Continental, a Southwest regional football team. The team that has been existing for about 15 years now, and according to observers, has been without a meaningful victory across the national territory as far as it has so far been engaging. It has been engaging in local competitions and has never secured a victory. He has so far promised to take the Continental to the League One level, as Derek Jato tells us in the following report.
After playing with the Cameroon football national team from 1991 to 1994 as a central defender, Essa Pius is back in the sector again, this time not as an Indomitable Lion, but as a club president.
I bought the club and the owner and president of the club, so I decided to come into football from now because I have a couple of guys who got so much quality, I have talent, and I decided to get in so that I can try to better their lives by getting them professional clubs out of this country.
For 15 years of existence of the Southwest Regional Club, Continental Football Club, highest level ever attended has been the finals of the mini Interpols. And Mr. Essa Pius says he is coming on board this time to take the club to Elite One.
Well, I've set up my goals, and I have a 5-year mission. I'm thinking within 5 years should be in first division, try to play the Cameroon Cup to the Champions League.
Defining his players and the management bench as a bunch of experts ready for the job, Mr. Essa Pius also added that all the logistics to keep Continental Football Club ready have already been made.
I have my budget. The financial part of it, there is nothing to be concerned about. I take everything possible. I do the miscellaneous.
After being in charge for just 4 months now, today on the street of Boya, people have started feeling the presence of Continental Football Club, alias the Gragra Boys. Reason why at a press conference recently in Boya, a call came from Bajema, a technical football advisor, begging on Mr. Essa Pius to stand and run for the office of the Southwest FECAFOOT president.
You are very, very, very well fit to represent our football at that highest rank as far as our region is concerned. So my plea is that I want to tell you before everybody here, but please don't wait for the electoral commission.
That is the former Lions player Essa Pius that has bought over the Continental and is promising to take it to another level after observers have been saying that it has been existing for 15 years now and has been without any meaningful victory. They're bringing us to the end of this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Equinox Television. Viewers, we thank you for joining us. Wishing you a blessed stay in the company of our programs. Until we meet again, goodbye.